They look at the merit of a particular issue and bring interlocutory injunctions and technicalities. So, do you know what they work with? They look at they go for loopholes. They don't look at the merit of the issue. If they do, these are simple. But they will look at the loopholes, a clause. That's just little clause. That's not how they work in good environment.
Well, because the law also says beyond reasonable doubt. So if
my brother, forget it.
If that doubt's to be exploited,
it's because here the system is giving them that leeway.
So
the leverage to do anyhow. If not, if they are checkmated, look, we've been abroad, we've been there now, and we see how things work.
Doesn't mean that due diligence wasn't done in building that constitution or amending the electoral act.
Thank you. You even brought me to this place. Let me tell you, the first farce we have about the constitution is that the constitution is warped, and is not a true book.
I'm talking about this recently.
We were told the first page of that constitution said we the people. Who are the people? Were you there? Your father, your forefather, did they give you any information that they were there when the constitution was
written? Focus
now,
on
do you know till now? I'm coming. That's where we are drawing the inspiration from, the thoughts. Till now, nobody had told us who and who were. Of course, what the constitution we're even using is a military constitution. Okay, so the democracy we are practicing is not embedded in it. There's no clause or the content of that constitution that reflects our present realities. And we said each time they try to amend the constitution, they confirm that we are called many times. Did they reflect the minds of the people after they confirm? Do you know why do you even think that the confirms, none of the confirms
have been implemented?
Jonathan had 3.
The last was
2014. Over how many? You want to say what?
The last was 2014.
Yes. Jonathan had how many? Obasanjo had how many? It was only this Buhari time that they are one. But then the issue remains that until the constitution is written, town hall meetings are held, and opinions of Nigerians are collated into building our realities. Because what you are practicing today is not for now.
Do we then subscribe to the notion? Do you then subscribe rather to the notion that we fall back to 1963 constitution, which some quarters have deemed the best?
Republican constitution works.
Yes.
Where all regions, yes, is a region. They
yes,
regional constitution.
Yes.
Yes. Republican.
So we should adopt that and probably make tweaks.
Yes, and make some inputs.
Okay.
Adopt this and make some input, because it seems the way it is now that we are ripe for it. That is only what will work for us, because that regional constitution gives power autonomy to all the regions and probably contribute to the center.
Well, I'm more concerned about this recently amended electoral act because it is recent. It is recent.
Recent, but not recent in thoughts. Not recent in thoughts.
Why did the president sign?
We had all concerned parties affirm or contribute to it.
It doesn't matter how many people that are gathered in this room to give the opinions. If the opinions are not reflective of the situations around, that is not an opinion. Have you not heard that 2 years are better?
How do you propose they should have constituted this particular amendment?
The present realities. Whoever that is discussing or putting anything down now should have a reflection of people's thoughts. Go to the streets. Do you know the problem the leaders have is that they don't have strict credibility? They can't walk in the street. They can't even ask anybody question on the street because they're afraid of them. How wouldn't they be afraid when they carry sirens here and there? Inside what's the name? Inside the enclosed car called the bulletproof car. So they don't interface and feel the pulse of the people to really know what they want. The amendment you are talking about is still the allies thing. It's still the allies thing. You and I were there. People on the street. How many people were there? During confirm.
What does it matter?
I'm coming to you.
Does it matter?
During confirm. No youth was there.
If the layman played a part in driving or drawing this particular constitution, this amended electoral act, what role would they play in closing those loopholes? Because those loopholes are professional. There are things that only professional eyes would be able to fill.
You say what?
Yes.
Professional eyes?
What you're talking about.
What is your definition of professional eyes?
I'm talking about those who have the legal knowledge.
Okay, recently, they came up with a report that Nigerians' inflation is getting better. The indices, okay? And as we speak, a pint of Gary, a woman, you should know how much it is. I don't know how much it is, but it's
600.
No, 600 was like 3-5 years ago. Should be around 1,000 or 1,200 or 3,130. A bag of rice is how much? So when you talk about enlightening, look, these are people who don't know what we are talking about. And when we say the inclusion of everyone, interfacing with all the people walking around is what we are talking about. When you say Constitution was amended, who amended it? It was still, okay, look at recently, let me tell you this. Recently, do you know how they come about this electoral act that we're talking about? It was to, initially it was to disallow them to participate fully in all the appointees and elective positions before it was amended. And when they came for the amendment, it was for it to favor them. Tell me any law that has been enacted, passed in National Assembly, that is not in the favor of the elites. Just mention one, as we are seated here. Recently, the National Assembly passed the law. And that law is to give them authority or the leeway to keep enjoying their emolument and retirement money. So, at which point have we come to that conclusion that yes, we are very close to the government? At which point have we come to that conclusion that yes, those at the lower rung of the ladder are with the government? At which point have we said yes, we are interfacing with the right people? As I'm sitting with you, you hardly see who is your counselor. Okay, let me start from my state, Enugu State. All the local governments in my states, all the local governments, their chairmen live in the town, live in Enugu State, the central. Okay? But their local government is in the bush. Sullivan, when he came, said that all the local government should be divested. Nobody should live in the town. Go to your local government.
All right, let's
that wasn't obeyed.
Let's bring it back. Now let's look at some of the people who have resigned. For instance, we have Akpabio, Minister of the NDDC, and then we have Ogbonnaya Onu, yes, as you said, and then the Minister of State for Education.
If
you look at these people, for instance, the Minister of State for Education, you see the current situation with ASU, and then you see Akpabio, the off your mic minister. You're wondering what effrontery these people have to still want to take the reins.
Well, it's what it is.
Of the
country. Okay. Look, my sister, the issue here is when we look at the whole scenario, it boils down that the foundation is really shaky. If it's not shaky, what is obtainable in Lagos should be obtainable in other states. Should be obtainable in my state, Enugu. Then should be obtainable in other hinterlands. Now, we've talked about SIM registration, right? And both people, both companies, both individuals are not maintaining the factors that would engender their profitability. And why we ask, does this make sense to you? Government is losing, the telcos are losing, okay? And everybody's relaxed. Why not create a seamless approach to this, which is very possible? Look, some of these things are not rocket science. They are not.
But are you answering the question I just asked? I'm talking about the fact that these people who have failed in terms of governance are still vying
at various portfolios.
Are still, and these are even smaller portfolios, are now vying for the #1 seat of the country.
Who questions them? Who questions them? That's the answer. Who questions them?
The answer is the president.
Because when they come to you, our money, our politics in Nigeria is money backed. They know they have impoverished us enough to admit, to accept, to take whatever peanuts they give us. Wajuba, as we speak, look, sometimes I don't like calling them because they're all baggages. If you talk about having not performed, do you know so many of these people, as we speak, some of them can't even take care of their family. They can't rule their family. But they are talking about ruling the country. And that is the issue of failure we had back to back. Because it is what you have that you can give. You can't give what you don't have. What? So if you come in with a whole lot, okay, look at how much you've spent alone. 100 million naira. Now, that money they spent, certainly that position is just for one person. And we have no less than 45 people. And more still coming maybe before then. Are you saying those people who spent that money will just walk away like that and lose their money? No.
45 in the APC alone?
It's more. They are going to be more.
They were about 20.
Just forget the number.
38.
The other time I was there, they were about 2 point. We calculated 24 or something. Yes. Now it's about 30 something. So there will still more. We still have Lawan the other day. Lawan joined and all that. So just forget it. What we are saying is this: when you spend 100 million, and all of them are the same, your colleagues spent another 100 million. Are you saying when you win, you ask them to forget about the 100 million? Our money has been shared by those firms. When they come on board, they are going to compensate themselves. You spent 100 million. They will times that money with numbers of days or months or so and tell you this is how much, and they will be paid. Why do you think we don't have enough money to carry out projects? It's because when they enter, the money, these are investors. They are co-investors. Each time they invest money, they need a recoup of their money. By how many times? So that's why you hardly have money to carry out projects.
Okay, let's bring this back home. I mean, we've had about 4 ministers resign, and we're expecting that the remaining 5 affected will resign, you know, in the weeks or days rather to come. Now, let's take an instance. Let's presume that some of these ministers go to court and status quo is maintained. In other words, they contest for the primaries. What then happens to those who have resigned and their portfolios are vacant? I'm asking because you have the president. It took 6 months when he came on board for him to appoint his ministers. The reports have it that, you know, Muhammadu had resigned since April 28th, and today is May 12th. If that report is anything to go by, that's how many days? About 14 days, exactly 2 weeks, and we've not had a replacement in terms of a minister of state for education. So my question is this: for the 4 ministers that have resigned now,
what happened to the office?
What happens to their offices or their portfolios? Because
okay, what has been happening to the office when they were there? Was the office working?
Well, I understand. Yes, no, I understand. You know, Nigerians are not, you know, confident about the performances of these ministers. But isn't it better to even have someone there than?
Be avoided.
It's even better they resign. Let me tell you.
And we have permanent.
Yes, let me tell you. Permanent secretary will take over. Yes, because these are career individuals, civil servants. Okay, it is better they resign. You know why? If they were allowed to be there, they would take the whole ministry's money. Yes, and use it for electioneering. But if they resign now, better. If you talk about their what will happen to the commission or what will happen to,
still continue to be paid. Even after
I don't think so.
Resigned.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't work with RAMFAC. RAMFAC know about it. I don't know what. But then, when they were engaged, see, do you know what I question sometimes? That's why I tell the problem is from the root until it's tackled. Someone was engaged, and there was no clause that, look, on whatever reason, you shouldn't go to court to determine what happens. Listen, was it there? It wasn't there. That is the leeway. That's the leverage. Why they couldn't they have this opportunity.
Oh well, that's
Do you understand?
To leave it, Mr. Ibe.
So,
Thank you so much for your take on this particular issue. Thank you for your time on
Thank you.
iBrandTV.
My pleasure.